Tonight, a mom in Aurora is searching for answers after her son was killed over the weekend in a shooting outside of a house party in Green Valley Ranch.
Denver police say 2 people were killed, 4 others injured early Sunday morning. 9 News reporter Rachel Krause joins us after speaking with a mother who lost her teenage son in that shooting. Rachel.
Jen lost her 17-year-old son, Giovanni. She says he was kind and caring, and he was in the wrong place at the wrong time when the shooting started at a birthday party in the early hours of Sunday morning. 2 people died, including Giovanni. 4 others were injured. Police say they didn't believe Giovanni was involved in the fight. Jen says her son was a good kid. She says she's devastated he was taken so soon. She asked us not to show her face tonight out of fear of retaliation, but she's grateful for the support from friends and family right now.
I think that it's Gio making this happen. I think that he's comforting us with all the love he had. I think that he's saying like, go see my family, and then be there for them.
Jen says she'll remember Giovanni as the adventurous, caring, happy young man that he was, cherishing her memories of her son. Denver police have not made any arrests in the case. Anyone with any information is asked to contact police.
Rachel Krause reporting for us. Thank you, Rachel. School leaders in Denver say that this is how a fight between 2 students ended, with one of them attacking a dean. Yesterday, George Washington High School. Denver police say a school resource officer saw the kids fighting outside the school and tried to break it up. The officer says that they brought one of the students inside. Boy tried to run. District says when the dean of culture tried to stop the 17-year-old boy, he attacked her. DPS says the dean was hurt but was able to return to work. Teenagers in custody. DPS has struggled with some public acts of violence. Last year, after a second shooting at East High injured 2 deans in March, the district decided to bring back school resource officers.
Tonight, we're learning more after Fort Collins police shot a man armed with a gun near CSU's campus. It happened about 1:30 this afternoon. 9 News reporter Brianna Clark is live now in Fort Collins. Brianna, things are certainly much quieter there tonight.
Yeah, officers tore down that crime scene tape a little over an hour ago. But for hours before that, we saw them here knocking on doors and talking to the folks that live in this neighborhood. That includes CSU students.
It's just a lot of craziness.
Flashing lights and streets blocked off near CSU's campus.
This is super uncommon for this neighborhood.
It was in the middle of the afternoon when Fort Collins police say they got a call about a man who had dropped a gun, then picked it back up. When officers arrived, they say the man was acting threatening toward a woman who was pushing a stroller with 2 small children. Police say they recognized him as a suspect, wanted on a felony warrant. They asked him to drop the gun, and he didn't. That's when an officer shot him.
The college kids are just as shocked and confused, so they're just swarming here to see what's going on.
Jacqueline Gonzalez is a student at CSU, and she lives just a few doors down from the scene. She heard the commotion from outside her window.
As soon as I heard it, I just kind of sat there for a moment because I wasn't sure if it was a gunshot or like a firework or something like that.
It kind of in like this college community, everyone's kind of trusting of each other. You know, you don't really think something's gonna happen until something does happen.
Jacqueline says despite the shooting, she's glad to see officers in her neighborhood.
Being a college student away from home, it's definitely nice to feel safe. So I will say that it was really nice how safe they made us feel, like, aside from all the circumstances that were going on.
Police say that after the shooting, they took the suspect to the hospital and he is expected to be okay. We reached out to Fort Collins police asking if they would answer some of our questions on camera. They declined to tell us any more. We now know Larimer County Sheriff's Office will take over the investigation.
All right, Brianna, thank you.
Parts of Colorado are expected to see some more winter weather, though tonight we had a gorgeous sunset. That winter weather Kathy, I should say, is coming around a weekend.
Yeah, no, you got it exactly right. And today it looked and felt very much like springtime out there. Temperatures were above average and the sky had that kind of convective look to it. We even had rain showers and some thunder and lightning in northeastern Colorado, all part of a center of circulation that's lifting northeast out of Colorado, only to be followed by a second low pressure system that will be here Friday and will bring accumulating snow to Denver. Tonight, the winds are really picking up over some of the higher passes. High wind warning out for the Front Range foothills with gusts to 80 possible. That means some areas of blowing snow as the snow continues across the western slope. Still tracking some showers on the I-76 corridor. Things have calmed down in Denver. All the advisories for heavy snow stay above 7,000 feet across the Continental Divide and through western Colorado for tonight and tomorrow. But come Friday, Denver is in the outlook area for about 3 to 6 inches of snow, and that'll continue until Saturday night. And some of the models have heavier amounts, so we're kind of watching this storm very closely. Clouds move out tonight. We get a little bit of sunshine tomorrow, maybe a stray rain shower in the afternoon, but really the big event for Denver comes at the end of the week. So quiet weather this evening, but changes in a couple of days. We're going to detail all of it coming up in Maine weather in just a bit.
There are people lined up overnight outside the Supreme Court, some of them Georgetown law students, waiting to see Coloradans make their case against Donald Trump tomorrow. The justices will consider whether the post-Civil War ban on insurrectionists holding office applies to Trump and therefore should ban him from Colorado's ballot.
I think they will answer the question. It's just how. And I mean, I obviously have high hopes they will answer, but I don't know a prediction.
Yeah, we were talking about kind of who we think will go or how we think it'll be split. I feel like it'll be split 5-4. I don't know which way though.
Yeah.
They're really into it. It's a long line, and not everybody there is guaranteed a spot inside the Supreme Court chambers tomorrow. The person at the very front of the line started camping out yesterday afternoon in town from North Carolina. 9 News political reporter Marshall Zellinger is in Washington, D.C., as those Coloradans opposed to Trump take a long shot at making history.
Learning about the Supreme Court and the U.S. Constitution brings back not so exciting memories of history class in high school. Sorry, Mr. Brown, but thanks to 6 Colorado voters, 4 Republicans and 2 unaffiliateds, and a liberal group here in Washington, a real-time history lesson from the Supreme Court on the Constitution takes place tomorrow. Former Republican state lawmaker Norma Anderson is the namesake of Trump versus Anderson. She is one of the 6 voters who put her name on the court challenge that brought us here to D.C. The challenge is focused on the 14th Amendment. A Denver district court determined Trump engaged in insurrection, but that the 14th Amendment's insurrection clause did not apply to the president. The Colorado Supreme Court determined it did, disqualifying Trump from running for president pending the U.S. Supreme Court taking up the case. This all leads to tomorrow, when Anderson's case is heard by the nation's highest court.
I don't think they've already decided, no. I think they have an open mind, because you always hear something you didn't expect. It's like when I was in committees. You know, I'd have my mind made up on a bill. And then I'd hear something and I think, well, maybe I'm wrong.
Anderson will be in court tomorrow morning. She says she's a good reader of people, but has no clue if she'll be able to read the justices based on their expressions or even the questions they ask. There are no cameras allowed in the Supreme Court. We do get audio from inside, however. I could try to draw some photos to combine with the audio, but I can't draw. At the Supreme Court, Marshall Zellinger, 9 News.
In lieu of Marshall's drawings, we will have a link to the live audio feed tomorrow on 9news.com, and Marshall will be providing updates on 9 News throughout the day.
Also tonight at the nation's capital, the Senate voted to take the first step towards debating a foreign aid package with assistance for Israel and Ukraine. It will move forward without bipartisan border deal attached. Senate Republicans voted to remove those border security provisions. The Senate now expects to hold another procedural vote on the foreign aid package tomorrow. Even if it does pass the Senate, the future of the bill is still unclear in the House, as many Republicans are opposed to sending further aid to Ukraine.
All 3 of Colorado's largest school districts are now part of a national lawsuit against social media companies for how they've impacted children's health. Leaders in Dougco schools are the latest to join that lawsuit. Denver and Jeffco Public Schools are already part of the case against Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and some other social media giants. The Dougco School Board voted unanimously last month to join them. The district blames social media for kids' growing mental health concerns and problems with bullying and online threats. The school districts want the social media companies to pay for the costs of additional mental health resources.